Welcome to the Oshkosh Area School District Board of Education for Wednesday, June 17, 2015. Has this meeting been properly noticed, please?
Yes, it has.
Can you call the roll?
Vito.
Here.
Eliason.
Here.
Evans.
Here.
Garner.
Here.
Herzog.
Here.
Lumberger.
Here.
Olmsted.
Here.
We have a quorum.
You pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, we will have board administrative reports. The superintendent's report.
Yes, the superintendent's good news report for June 17th. First of all, we honor South Park 6th grade students use the information they learned from the year for different contact areas to compete in an activity similar to the television show The Amazing Race. Students wore colored t-shirts to help identify their teams and show their South Park pride. We congratulate the Oshkosh North girls track team and track and field team for state qualifiers, as well as the boys state tennis qualifiers who were pictured here. Congratulations also to the students listed who received national ranks for their participation in online math league competition, which consists of a series of 3 exams taken throughout the school year. Students' scores are compiled and ranked nationally, and we had quite a number, and we're continuing the pattern of just outstanding math programming in our 2 high schools. Congratulations to the Oshkosh North High School students pictured here who qualified for the boys state track and field and Special Olympics track and field events this spring. Students at Merrill Elementary School received a tour of the Oshkosh Police Department mobile unit and learned how the Oshkosh Police Department helps the Oshkosh community. South Park Middle School students participated in Memorial Day ceremony on Monday, May 25th. Students read aloud each of the monuments' 226 names of veterans from Winnebago County who lost their lives in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. The ceramics students from Oshkosh North High School sold their pottery at the farmers market on June 6th to raise money for 2 worthy causes: cancer research and to support finding forever homes for homeless animals. Congratulations to the Oshkosh West track athletes pictured above who qualified for the state, and which was held on June 5th and 6th at the University of Wisconsin La Crosse. Congratulations also go to the Oshkosh West tennis players also pictured above who qualified for state, which was held in Madison on June 4th through the 6th. Congratulations to the Oshkosh West academic team pictured here for qualifying for the Nationals. And congratulations to Carl Traeger Elementary School for being recognized as a silver level School of Recognition by the East Central Wisconsin Safe Routes to Schools. They created programs, policies, and partnerships which promote safe routes to school, such as the International Walk to School Day, Bike to School Week, and the Walking School Bus, just to name a few. In partnership with Fox Valley Technical College, a Riverside program recently received a Basic Needs Partnership Grant totaling some $69,500 over multiple years from the Oshkosh Foundation. The grant will address AODA issues and allow for the expansion of the program to provide students with training, confidence building, support, and career planning activities to help them avoid failure and begin paving the way to successful adulthood. And finally, the last items are activities involved the superintendents in the last week since our last meeting, or last 2 weeks since our last meeting. I think this must be the shortest good news report in months, but it's a sign that things are calming down for the summer before all the activities of the fall begin. So thank you so much. This completes the report.
Are there any reports from committees at all? Hearing none. Next portion would be our non-agenda related public forum. Does anyone want to speak on a non-agenda related item this evening? Seeing nobody. Agenda related public forum. Does anyone want to speak on something that's on tonight's agenda? Hearing nothing, we are moving into our consent resolution agenda. I've had a request to pull number 9, transfer into Fund 46. The rest of this would be, anybody else want to have anything pulled from here? For the consent agenda, now the board has been furnished with background material on each of the items that is discussed at a previous meeting. These will be acted upon with one vote without discussion. If a board member wants to discuss any item, it can be pulled out of the consent agenda and will be voted on separately. The board will consider approval of 1 minutes of May 27, 2015 regular board meeting, 2 minutes of the May 27, 2015 executive session of a regular board meeting, 3 minutes of June 3rd, 2015 regular board meeting, 4 bills payable, 5 personnel, A, appointments, resignations, retirement, and salary schedule, B, waiver of a 45-day notice, C, resignation of an administrator, 6, withdrawal from the local government property insurance fund, LGPIF. Number 7, join Wisconsin Educators Risk Management Cooperative, WERMC. Number 8, transfer out of Fund 80. Number 10, disallowance of liability claim. Number 11, Sage 5-year contracts renewal at Roosevelt, Washington, and Jefferson. Number 12, 2015-16 strategic compensation guide updates.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Limburger?
Aye.
Limburger, aye. Olmsted?
Aye.
Olmsted, aye. Dito?
Aye.
Dito, aye. Eliason?
Aye.
Eliason, aye. Evans?
Aye.
Evans, aye. Turner?
Aye.
Turner, aye. Herzog?
Aye.
Herzog, aye. Motion carries.
Resolution number 9, be it resolved that the Oshkosh Area School District Board of Education approve a transfer to Fund 46 in the amount of $1 million as filed with the Secretary of the Board of Education.
So moved. Second.
I actually wanted to have this pulled. If you remember, and I know that you all do, if you've read the executive summary on this, we have a little over $2 million. We spent 2% less. $1 million, this will be viewed as an expenditure in 15-16, correct?
No, it'll be
14-15,
so we'll do it yet before the end of this fiscal year.
Okay, good. And then we would get 52% state aid on that, correct? So essentially $520,000.
Right.
What I would like to do with this is, if you look at our capital improvement fund, we can't touch this for 5 years. This would be a good start for our capital improvement fund. We could actually look out and in the document that Jim Fox created, and look out in 5 years and start having some capital parked in there to actually take care in a sustainable manner our facilities so that this deferred maintenance doesn't continue. It's actually, in my opinion, a very prudent and good stewardship thing to do. The reason I asked to have this pulled was I would like to amend this to $1.25 million, $1,250,000, and the reason being is that gets us to $680,000 from the state and state aid, which gets us to $2 million roughly in the start of our fund, which I think is a very healthy thing to have in there for 5 years. So at this time, I would entertain an amendment to that concept.
Can I just clarify, the state aid though stays in Fund 10? It doesn't...
Understood.
It doesn't get switched into Fund 46?
I understand, I understand.
Okay. But you're right, it does, instead, if we weren't to spend this money at all, then our aid for 15-16 would actually drop because you only get aided on what you spend.
Right.
By spending this or transferring it, you at least keep your aid, from going down.
Right, I mean, there's a number of caveats in there, in my opinion. We have the additional money on this, we could use it for something else, obviously, with this estimate on the overage that we had, or underage, rather.
So I'll move to amend to 1.25.
I'll second that for the purpose of discussion.
I think with some of the things that are obviously going on in Madison, we have orchestrated this actually from the beginning of this year in the creation of our 10-year facility plan, which is necessary to create a Fund 46. And I think that with some of the things that are coming out of Madison, that this is a good way for us to capitalize on something and do the best that we can for our community's kids here with this. In other words, I mean, if you're just in the viewing public out here, if you spend $1 million, we're willing to invest that in your buildings, you're going to get $680,000 from the state. That's a pretty good deal. I mean, better than you're ever going to get on on stock market or something like that. So I think it's a very prudent thing to do. Other discussion? Barb?
I would have a question from Mrs. Schnorr as the Executive Director of Business Services. How comfortable would you feel with such an increase?
I would be fine with it. I mean, I do, we still have a couple more weeks of the fiscal year, and you never know when the auditors come in if they're going to find anything, but I feel very comfortable going into the last couple weeks of June with that kind of a surplus. And it's not like you're spending it and losing it, you're just moving it to a different fund to spend later on. So I would be very comfortable with that.
Thank you.
Other questions? I guess hearing none, can we vote on the amendment, correct?
Olmsted?
Aye.
Olmsted, aye. Dito?
Aye.
Dito, aye. Eliason?
Aye.
Eliason, aye. Evans?
Aye.
Evans, aye. Garner?
Aye.
Garner, aye. Herzog?
Aye.
Herzog, aye. Lumberger?
Aye.
Lumberger, aye. Amendment carried.
We don't have any individually considered resolutions, correct?
We have to vote on 9.
Oh, I've done 9, yes, okay. Then it would be the amended 9, correct? Or just the original 9? The original 9?
No, be
No.
The amended.
All right, be resolved that the Oshkosh Area School District Board of Education approve a transfer to Fund 46 in the amount of $1,250,000 as filed with the Secretary of the Board of Education.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Call roll, please.
Dito?
Aye.
Dito, aye. Eliason?
Aye.
Eliason, aye. Evans?
Aye.
Evans, aye. Garner?
Aye.
Garner, aye. Herzog?
Aye.
Herzog, aye. Lumberger?
Aye.
Lumberger, aye. Olmsted?
Aye.
Olmsted, aye. Motion carried.
Individually considered resolutions. There are none. Requests for future agenda items. Hearing none. Announcements.
I do have one or two. One of the things that, as just a reminder, tomorrow morning, a number of us will be participating with the Oshkosh for Education group and presenting our quarterly report to them. And we look forward to that experience. On Saturday, I have agreed to meet with the African American parent group within the community at the United Methodist Church on, I believe, on Smith Avenue, and for a 1 to 2 hour session to reflect with how things are going for African American students in the community, and I look forward to that experience as well. And then I just wish to, anniversaries are kind of important to me, and I'm now at the conclusion of third complete year in the school district, and look forward to as we go into our fourth year. But I want to say a thank you to the Board of Education. Administratively, we were reflecting on Monday of this week and the fact that it is because of you and stability and your working together that we are seeing the greatest amount of stability administratively and work-wise in the district. And it is a different world than the one that many of my colleagues were living through and that I inherited. And it is thanks to you as a school board for working together respectfully with each other, with our executive team, and respecting our employees so greatly that we can serve the community so well. And I'm grateful for that and look forward to as we approach another year. No thanks to issues in Madison, but thanks to all of you for what you all do regularly to make the best of what we have here and our best to continue to make changes and make improvements in the district that are beneficial to our students. And that's number one, and for me, it's very positive. I also want to really thank my executive team, all of our principals, our teachers, and our support staff who do a marvelous job. And I spend enough time out in buildings and around activities to know the good things that are happening every day in every one of our facilities, and I'm grateful for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Stan. Any other announcements? Hearing none, entertain a motion to adjourn to executive session for the purpose of considering the disciplinary data of specific persons, 19.851F Wisconsin statutes. A, review expulsion recommendation from expulsion hearing officer for a high school student who, one, engaged in conduct while at school or while under the supervision of a school authority which endangered the property, health, or safety of others at school, and two, endangered the property, health, or safety of a student authority or endanger the property, health, or safety of an employee or school board member of the school district, and three, repeated refusal or neglect to obey school rules under 120.13C Wisconsin statutes. I suppose I can't just do ditto, right? So B, reviews expulsion recommendation from expulsion hearing officer for a high school student who, one, engaged in conduct while at school or under the supervision of a school authority which endangered the property, health, or safety of others at school and endangered the property, health, or safety of the school authority or endangered the property, health, or safety of an employee or school board member of the school district, and three, repeated refusal or neglect to obey school rules, 121.3C Wisconsin statutes, and C, review expulsion recommendation for expulsion hearing officer for a high school student who, one, engaged in conduct while at school or while under the supervision of a school authority which endangered the property, health, or safety of others at school and endangered the property, health, or safety of a school authority or endangered the property, health, or safety of an employee or school board member of the school district, and three, repeated refusal or neglect to obey school rules under 120.13C Wisconsin statutes.
So moved.
Thank you.
All three of them.
As we are adjourned to executive session. What's that?